Are you live?
We're live on mine too. Yeah.
All right, we're live.
Hi, guys.
Hi, everyone, and happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I'm Christina Sundari.
And I'm Shikha Sharma.
And we decided to do an impromptu ClassyGlam for you guys today because we went to SoulCycle earlier, had an amazing ride in Los Gatos. I've actually never been to Los Gatos.
It's such a nice location, right? I told
really
you
nice.
Would love that one.
Yeah, super cute. I love downtown Los Gatos. It's just such a fun, cute little area.
Matches your personality. Fun, cute, little.
Little. I am actually really little. I'm only like 5. You know, I'm 5'2 3/4", but I always tell people I'm 5'3".
Yeah.
It's all about perception,
It's
right?
all about perception.
Yeah.
That's right. And no one knows. No one knows that little bit of a difference.
Exactly. You're never going to know. And I always wear heels anyway, so it's fine. So we went to SoulCycle. Afterwards, we did some meditating. And yeah, I know we sound like total hippies right now.
We kind of are. A little bit.
A little bit.
At times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the meditation note, you want
Yeah.
to tell them what we're doing?
So we are doing a 21-day meditation challenge. It's really crazy. So I actually have been wanting to meditate, I want to say since October, November last year, because I was just going through some things I felt like I needed to focus a little better. And I basically was recommended that, hey, why don't you meditate? It'll help. And I never really got into it. I just couldn't get myself to focus. So what ended up happening, and this is what life does to you, is Christina over here says, you should probably start meditating, because, you know, we clearly talk about things and we share some personal experiences. And she's like, you know, I started meditating and I think maybe you should try it. And so the sweetheart she is, she sends me guided meditations like every day. So just as a reminder, like, hey, meditate today. So I started meditating, and I'm not too far into it. But what we decided was our girl gang, which has five of us, Nicole, Jennifer, Camilla, myself, and Christina, which you guys have heard about so many times now. We are on a 21-day meditation challenge. So for those of you who are interested, we are going to post the meditation we're going to do, at least the first one, because today's our first day. Mm-hmm. So we are going to post the one we're going to do. And if you guys want to join in at any time on your own time, join it with us. And if you've been wanting to meditate and you need a push, this might be it, because this was my push. So
yeah. And because, just to answer your question, I meditate daily. I started getting into meditating probably back in November. And reason why I personally got into it was because I had gone through a lot of changes last year. As a lot of you guys know, I went through a divorce, and, you know, I had a lot of personal issues that I was dealing with. And I didn't really know how to deal with it, but a really good friend and mentor of mine suggested it. And it's really cool because the way I started getting into it was he started sending me guided meditations.
Oh, how nice.
Shikha didn't know that. That's how I got into it. He
Okay.
started sending me a guided meditation every day.
So you're paying it forward.
Yes, exactly. And I tell him, I said, you know, now I'm pretty much coaching my friends, and I'm telling everyone that I know that might potentially be going through a hard time, or even if you're not and you're just looking for something new to add to your lifestyle, it's just such a really rewarding and fulfilling thing to do. I literally do it every single day before I go to sleep. I can't not do it now. It's so baked into my lifestyle, and I really recommend it to anyone. But what I will say about meditating, though, is I get a lot of questions from people asking, how do you get into it? Because sometimes it's really hard for me to clear my head. Yes, and that's very legitimate. It's not an easy thing to do. So you just have to be in that state of mind where you really want to take it in. And I think that is a real struggle for people. People sometimes think, oh, meditating is really easy. You just sit there and you just don't think about anything. But if you think about it, our minds are always moving.
Working.
We're always exposed to messages, whether we're driving in the car to work, if you see a billboard when you're walking down the street, or if someone's talking to you, or if the radio's on, there's always something going on. And it's very, very difficult to separate yourself from everything that's going on in the world.
And subconsciously, all that is there. You may not think you're taking it in, or you may not think it's doing anything to you, or it's had no effect on you, and then it shows up in a dream, or it shows up with an association to something. So, you know, things, they stay in your mind, even if you think they don't. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, Nina actually mentioned Insight Timer is a great app for guided meditations.
Oh, nice.
I've actually never used Insight Timer. Yeah, thank you. I remember Nina saying something about that before too. There are also apps like Calm, and I think there might be some other apps also that are good. Yeah, I think Calm is pretty good. I've tried it a couple times. For me personally, I like pulling guided meditations from YouTube.
Yeah, that's what she sends me, and it's really easy because, like, you know, you click the link and you go. And the way everyone meditates differently, because I would be like so do you cross your legs? Do you have to be in a room alone? Should I be lying on my bed? What if I fall asleep? Like, you have all these really random questions. And all I did today was sit on the couch and put my earphones in.
That's what we built in today.
Yeah, that's what we did when we got back from Soul Cycle.
Yeah.
My good friend Bria on here, I know she's really into meditation and stuff. And she said, it's a really nice initiative. I make Kabir, which is her, I think, 8-year-old now son, meditate before he goes to school.
That's fantastic.
So it's something that she's like instilling in him from a very young age. And I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Shweta, thank you for the compliment on my hair. You should ask her what I was saying before this video. So
she almost didn't want to be on camera with her hair like that today.
I was like, I don't know. Am I ready for the curls again? It's a little short.
It looks fabulous. I was telling her, people pay so much money for hair like this, and you just wake up like that. I'm so jealous.
I do like it, but I like it when it's a little longer like this. But you know what? I'm owning it, guys. That's what I'm doing.
Own your hair, own your skin.
Yes. Hi, cuz. My cousin Michelle from Canada is on. Yay, I'm so glad.
Nina says, yes, the curls are hot.
Thank you. Nina actually sent me a message saying, I'm waiting for the day you get on camera with your curls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this is for you, Nina. Here you go. I made it.
No, thank you, Nina.
Before Bipasha, thanks, Bria.
Yeah,
you're the best. Thank you. This is all I need to hear. Keep bringing it over.
This is exactly why we hopped on this video today, was to inflate this one's ego.
I did hers yesterday. It was my turn today.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's tell them about what we're really talking about today.
Okay, yeah, we completely got sidetracked. So we did want to tell you guys about the 21-day meditation challenge if you're interested in participating. But I guess what we really wanted to talk to you guys about was how we deal with fears and insecurities and negativity, and how to overcome those things to achieve your goals. So it's all kind of looped into the whole meditation thing.
Yeah. Well, meditation is a part of it. It's a part of our solution.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We had a really interesting experience. Like she said, we went to Soul Cycle. We had some conversation. We came back. We started meditating. And we just got into really deep conversations about things that have bothered us in the past, or that are currently bothering us, or noise that's coming through, which is always the case in life, right? For something. And we were saying how lucky we are to have each other to talk to about these type of things in a very non-judgmental sort of way, because it's hard to be honest about your insecurities and about your fears.
Yes.
And it's really hard to figure out how to get through it. So sometimes the best advice comes not from yourself, yes, I love it when people are like, oh, you're going to find it within yourself and you're going to figure it out. And that's absolutely true. It will eventually come to you, but it's nice to get a little help. It's nice to kind of have a good conversation with somebody, a good friend, a mentor, a parent, a sibling, anybody that you feel like you can speak to who's not judging you when you're talking. And we are lucky enough to have that. So we thought, you know what, let's open it up. Let's talk about fears and insecurities and how we deal with them. And we'd love for you guys to engage if you wanted to talk about some of yours, or if you just wanted to listen, that's also fine. But we'd love to have a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the most difficult parts of, I guess, this whole conversation, at least for me, is I find that whenever I speak to someone and they say something negative, negativity is like cancer.
Yeah.
One negative thought in your mind is,
yeah.
What's up?
One cell of cancer, right?
Yeah, one cell is going to multiply like crazy, and it's going to affect your entire attitude. It's going to affect your work. It's literally poison. And for me, I when the year started, I said, I'm canceling out negativity from all angles. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my best friend. I guess that's kind of harsh.
Well, I mean, you're not canceling them out. You're canceling out the negativity.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not that I'm shutting people out. It's like I'm just shutting out that, I guess, I'm just shutting out that energy. Exactly. Because when you exude positivity, you just bring that into all aspects of your life, professional, personal, everything. But when there's a negative, not just a thought, but I mean, if there's negativity that's, kind of in your mind, it shows in everything that you do. So if I go outside and I feel like, I feel fat today, and then maybe I go to the gym, maybe I go out with some friends, I'm still going to have that negative attitude.
And it keeps, like you said earlier, it keeps chipping away at you little by little.
Yeah, and that's what we were saying earlier, that it chips away at you. And after a while, I mean, it's going to really stop you from getting where you want to go.
It's going to soak up so much of your time and your energy.
Yeah.
I always like to say that when Christina and I have discussions about what bothers us, whether that's something we've heard from somebody, whether that's something we've done to ourselves, whether it's a decision we weren't happy about, or whether it's a route that we took that we're like, I always say, this is my biggest thing. I say, in the big picture of life, how much does it really matter? How much does that noise or that event really matter in the big picture 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 3 months from now? How much is it really going to affect you? And if it's not, then dismiss it. Let it go. And it's very hard to do. I'm talking about it like, hey, no big deal, dismiss it. I snap my fingers and it's gone. And it's not always like that because, it does eat at you and you do think about it and then you dwell on it. And then you're like, oh, is that the decision I should have made? Is that the route is that how I should have handled it? But how much energy does that take out of you? And I think, like Shweta's saying, negative energy is a real thing. She calls them energy suckers. Some people can really suck it all out of you. And that's so true. So you have to be strong enough to say no to those people.
Yeah. And Nina's actually asking a question right here. How would you deal with a person that is unhappy and negative all the time, like they may need help? That's a really good question. And that's a really hard question to answer, especially when it's sometimes so hard to ignore them. Exactly. Especially if it's someone that's maybe in your immediate family.
Someone you're close to.
Yeah, someone you're close to. Maybe it's a coworker. How do you really deal with those people? I mean, because it's not like you can shut them out of your life. They're always going to be there. So I would say you can't control what other people are going to do, but you can always control the way you handle the situation.
Really great thing to say.
And that's something that I really learned through meditating. And one of my flaws that I came to terms with more recently was I was letting a lot of other people's attitudes towards me affect me and influence my decision.
Like perceptions of you?
Of me, yeah. And I let that influence my decisions. Example. We were talking about this earlier today too. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to be on TV. My mom would come around with our video camera and she would always record me, always. And I was such a ham. Oh my God.
We know.
I'll just show you some of our home videos. I'm literally like, I'm like doing my hair and I'm playing with my mom's makeup. And I thought I was all that. I really did at whatever, 5 or whatever I was. And I was a tap dancer. So, God help me. I was definitely all over the place.
You made it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the 5-year-old who made it.
Yeah. But as I started getting older and I started listening to what, people are talking about as far as, what they want to be when they get older and, the things that they plan on doing. When I got to high school, I was actually on our school's news station, but even towards the end, there was always this voice in my head that kind of said, well, is that really attainable? Can you really do that? I don't know. And I was always afraid.
You were doubtful.
I was very doubtful. And a lot of it was because I was influenced by what a lot of people said.
Because not everyone believes in you, right?
Yeah, that's true.
we said this today. How did we say this? I'm trying to be nice, actually.
You're super nice. I have to try to be nice.
I'm trying to say it in a way that makes sense.
Okay.
No one's going to hate on a loser, is what I said. So if people are being negative towards you, maybe they're projecting, right?
Definitely.
Maybe you're doing something they wish they could or they wish they had, or maybe you're taking a route in life and you've taken the guts to take that route. You've made a decision to change your life and maybe they need to, but they don't have the guts to do it yet. And sometimes you get that projection from them and their doubts kind of project on you like, are you sure that was a good idea? I mean, I got it. Oh my God. When I decided to go to cosmetology school, everybody was like, you have this cush job at like Chevron. You work like 4 days a week. You have like super flexibility. There's X amount of income coming in. Why do you want to give that up? Like people wait for it. And I was like, because I'm on autopilot at work. I like go to work. I do my job. I do a good job. It's not that I'm being fair to the company and the people I'm working with, but it's not what I'm enjoying.
Right.
So when I decided to go to cosmetology school, I always say my age because I was like the second oldest person there. So I was 34 years old when I made that decision. The twins were 6 months old. And I went and I got so many, oh my God, you have 6-month-old twins at home and you're here and what? You left IT to do this? And I remember going in thinking, I don't know where this is going, but I never want to regret it. I never want to feel like I didn't do it.
Right.
And it has hands down been the best decision of my life because I didn't know I was going to love it to the level that I do. I didn't know it was going to give me the experiences that I had both here in the US and in India. I didn't know it was going to bring this on, right? Like our artistry and our beauty and fashion desires is what brought us together. And I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. I don't think there's anything else I could be doing in this world that would make me happier at this point in time in my life.
Like, I'm really honored that you're saying that.
Oh, thank you. It's really so true, though. I really am at a very peaceful, happy place in my life. And that doesn't mean I don't have bad days and things aren't negative or whatever. It just means that I've learned to prioritize what I'm going to take in and what I'm not, and what I'm going to focus on and what I'm not. And like Christina said, it's not going to be the negativity.
And I love what you just said, prioritizing. Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it, because sometimes you can't cancel out all the noise that comes into your mind. You know, you really can't. And, you know, we're all human beings. You know, of course, we're going to take, you know, what people say to heart, especially if it's someone close to you, you know, like, how could you not? You know, you have to. So I think when you prioritize and when you have your goals in place, it's a lot easier to kind of work towards that and not let the white noise get in your way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's really smart. Priya over here said, I'm so happy for you and proud of you for taking the chance of and coming out and being successful.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And you know what? When I made this decision to go to Cosmo School, there were 3 women I spoke to, because there are 3 women that I look up to, I think I idolize in my French circle, and Priya's one of them. And I
remember you mentioning Priya.
Yes. Yeah. So I've made 3 phone calls to 3 women, and I discussed, hi Masi, Ritu Masi signed on. I discussed this with 3 people, 3 women, and who are successful in both their personal and professional life, because I really wanted a full spectrum of this.
Of course.
And Priya said something really cool to me, because I said, listen, this is going to be the investment that I'm going to put in financially and time-wise. And she was so quick. She's like, why are you worried about the money? She goes, you will make that money back. That's not even considered an investment. Whether you make it back in this industry or whether you go back to work, it's not something to consider. And it was such a good way to look at it, because she was the first person who told me to stop looking at the financial investment you're putting in here, because you're going to drive your passion here. And how do you beat that? What comes above that?
Yes.
So thanks, Priya. I can attribute a lot of the confidence I have of making this decision from that conversation we had together.
And I think that's really important, is to surround yourself with like-minded people that are maybe not working towards the exact same goals, but they are well-intended, and they're motivated, ambitious, and kind of similar to you, I think. And that's what I really love about our girl gang. And I know we talk about them all the time. We went to New York with them. So it was a group of 5 of us, you know, for those of you guys that don't know. One of them is a talk show host. The other runs a magazine, and the other one is a fashion designer. So we all do different things. You know, we all come from 5 different worlds. We all have 5 different stories, but we all came together for a lot of the same reasons. You know, we all want to be successful. We're all motivated. Yeah. We have no time for nonsense.
I'll keep your mouth clean.
That's a much nicer word than what I was going to use. And then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't say that.
I knew where it was going.
You know me too well. And having people like that in your life really help you stay grounded and centered. I think in addition to keep having your goals very structured and laid out, having that support system is really, really necessary to help you stay on track and help you continue to move in the right direction without being, you know, distracted or influenced by negativity.
And girlfriends are really important.
Yes.
They really are.
They really are.
So that's one of the ways, I guess, we manage our insecurities and our fears, is we actually put them out in the open. Because a lot of people also just keep them in and just let the fears eat at them, right? Yeah. Like whether it's a job change, or whether it's being a new mom, or whether it's getting into a new relationship, or whatever aspect of your life that you're dealing with at that time, you think nobody else is going through it, or you think that you're going through it at the worst. And you're afraid of that judgment of, oh, like this person looks like they have it all together on Instagram and on Facebook, right? Like you see their happy family photos or happy relationship photos and things like that. And you feel like if you are the one to come out and say that, listen, I don't have it so easy, or it's really hard dealing with the kids sometimes, or it's tough in this marriage and I haven't talked to my husband in 3 days. Everyone has gone through it, right? It's not that you don't fight with your spouse, or or your kids don't become difficult, or your friendships get rough. All of it happens, but it happens to everyone. So I think it's really important to just talk to someone, to say it out loud, because the minute you start talking about it, the other person will also open up.
Yes, I completely agree. This actually happened to us earlier when we were sitting on the couch, we were meditating, and then Shikha looks over at me and she was like, you look kind of down right now. And I wasn't even really aware of it, to be completely honest with you. I mean, it was all kind of sitting in my head, but I hadn't said anything, and I was just kind of dealing with it. And, you know, I think everyone's kind of guilty of this, you know, especially when you have so much going on in your life. You don't want to be slowed down. And sometimes it's easier to just stay heads down and just say, hey, I'm just going to do whatever I have to do. And
I'm just going to get by.
Yeah. And I'm just going to ignore, you know, whatever issue is in my head. But then talking to you about it made me realize, oh, this is bothering me. I do have something that I haven't addressed.
Right.
And so it's both helpful to hear from someone else, you know, maybe that what you're going through is not abnormal, but it's also important for you to come to terms with, hey, so maybe I do have this insecurity, or maybe this negativity is affecting me in a way that I didn't even know.
Unless you face it, it's not going to go away.
Exactly.
You can busy yourself up with work and friends and traveling and moving, but your insecurities and your fears and your issues are not going to go away from that. You literally have to face them. But you find your time. I'm not going to tell you guys to like do it right now, this minute, when you're not ready for it. I'm just going to tell you to prepare for it.
Yes.
And face it when you're ready, because you got to face it at some point. At some point, you got to take that step and be like, I got to deal with this. I got to make that phone call, or I got to get rid of this relationship, or, you know, I got to start Soul Cycle, you know?
I'm so proud of you, by the way.
Thank you.
So glad that
Thank you.
finally got you.
I do. I know. I am enjoying it, you guys. I'm not going to lie. I can't sleep at night because my legs ache so bad. It's a real workout. So
it really is.
But it's great.
And it was funny because when we finished and we were in the bathroom, I sweat a lot. Like, even though I've been to Soul Cycle millions of times, I still sweat like it was my first class.
Yeah. But
even she was like, I thought I was a sweater.
I was like, you're the reason we have to wipe down the machines at the end of a workout.
If you're sitting next to me, I'm sorry, because you're probably going to get sprayed by all my sweat flying around everywhere.
Okay, we know that's TMI.
I know, sorry. We digress.
Yes,
I digress.
That's all right. Well, okay, so we're not going to keep you too long today. We just wanted to tell you guys to welcome your weekend with a positive attitude. To let go of that negativity or that person or that relationship or that issue or that fear, or address it. I don't want to say let go. I'm going to tell you to address it.
Address it.
Yeah, yes. Address it and just finish it and get it, just pack it away so you don't have to deal with it again, because there's always,
let it go.
Exactly. There's always going to be something at every stage at your life which is going to become difficult. Like, the skinnier you get, the prettier you get, the more children you have, the more relationships you have, the more promoted you get. There's a struggle at literally at every point, right? It's not that it's like when people are like, oh, it's gonna be better tomorrow, or when I own this car, I'm gonna feel better, or when I buy that house is when I'm gonna be satisfied. It never happens. That doesn't happen. You got to be satisfied today. So don't let negativity and fears take that away from you. Just deal with it.
Yeah,
deal with it,
and always know that resources are always available. Like, don't ever feel that you mentioned this, don't ever feel that you have to go through your journey alone. And I think it's really easy for people to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
Like, nobody else knows what I'm going through. Nobody else has my story. Nobody else would understand. That's true. Everybody has their own journey, and nobody is going to know it as well as you. But I can guarantee you that there are a lot of people out there that have gone through similar things and have maybe some tactics in their tool belt that can help you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Exactly.
Just talk to people, and there's a solution out there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. You know what I do want to say? So one of the things that I really liked about Christina, this is before we got together, is she came up with these ClassyGlam approved t-shirts, like Coco approved from the ClassyGlam line. And I think they're so cool. I've been asking her, how long have you had this t-shirt up?
For a while.
I've been asking her for a while.
And she's been asking me for a while.
I'm like, can I please get one of those t-shirts? Like, they're so cool. I really like it. Coco approved.
Really
like,
cool.
anyone who's
the tank top version.
Yeah, it's a tank top version. This is the t-shirt. And it's really cool. So if you guys are interested in the t-shirts, that's who you DM.
DM me or DM Shikha.
Or DM me. That's fine too. I'm all good. I'll pass the message along. I kind of know her.
Kind of. Yeah.
On that note, we are going to let you guys go. This was just a surprise Friday video. We are going to have one coming out for you next week on Thursday. We'll just tell you, we're going to talk about skincare. Yeah, we're going to give you our skincare routine, product recommendations. We're not coming on bare skin again. Don't worry. You're not going to have to watch us redo it all.
Yeah, we're not going to do a demo this time.
But we will tell you everything we use, everything we like from a daily, nightly, and ongoing basis.
Yes. If you guys have any maybe questions about particular products that we use, like maybe it's a serum or it's a beauty oil, because I've had some people ask me about serums. Like, oh, what's a good serum to use, or why would you even use a serum? So if you have any questions like that, maybe relating to skincare, feel free to DM us ahead of time, and maybe we can
we'll address something.
Addressed.
All right, everyone, we hope you have a fantastic weekend. Release that negativity, go in with a positive attitude, and we'll see you back next week on Thursday at noon.
Okay, we'll see you guys then.
Thank you. Oh, you know what? Natasha said, how was the brush cleaner thing you bought? What was it called? It was a Sigma one.
The Sigma cleansing mat.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.